So Slippin' Jimmy is back, and finally, I've been waiting for Better Call Saul for a while now because I love this show. I really like the humor in it, the direction, the cinematography. It's a well put together show. Now, season two. Glad we're getting to season two. And right now, Jimmy's kind of in a funk. Like he's not doing anything. He's lazy. He's being lazy. He wants to quit the law firm. Kim is trying to get him back into it. Like she wants him to take this law firm. She wants him to do things. She wants to take cases. Like she says he's a good lawyer, but he's just gonna throw it all away because of some depressing stuff that happened in the last episode and Chuck himself. Like just Saul needed Kim in this episode, and they did. They had a great time in particular moments, especially when they were conning that stock broker pretty much, and making him pay the bill of these $50 shot tequila shots. I thought that was a great setup, by the way. But overall, at the end of this episode, we did get to see Saul finally say, you know what, kept on calling Kim. I was like, is he gonna just like wait until Kim not show up? Because what is he doing? He's being lazy. He's a grown ass man. Time to go to work. And that's what he does. He accepts his firm, and he's at a new firm. He gets his own desk. He gets his own view. I mean, he's back at it. So what I really did like about this episode was the beginning, just like last season, where he's working at the Cinema Bun, and this is that black and white and what he's doing working at the Cinema Bun, that is after the events of Breaking Bad. So he's at hiding and stuff, and he has a new identity. But of course, in the last season, we did see that somebody was kind of watching him. So we'll see how that goes. I liked how basically that one dude who was selling the drugs, basically, he's an idiot. Like he calls the cops because he gets all his drugs stolen, but he gets his baseball card stolen. I like that scene as well. I want to call what's his name, Hank, but it's not Hank. I always see him as a Hank. I can't believe I'm forgetting. I think it's Bob. It's not Bob. I can't believe I forget his name. He's my favorite character. Well, anyway, but honestly, this episode was all about Saul, and it was a kind of a little bit of a slow burn. There were some moments where I'm like, okay, like I like the direction, I like the cinematography, it looks great. Saul's just like kind of in a funk. I don't want him to be in a funk. It makes me always think Saul is a very sympathetic character, even though he's kind of a jackass and a con man. But the way things happen, the things that happen to him, he's just not a lucky guy. He's just unlucky. Like he gets locked in when he's throwing away garbage, he gets locked in the little area, and he has to wait till the janitor comes in to unlock the door. I mean, but he's a very humble and he has a heart. He has a heart. So with Saul, like he's very sympathetic, and in this episode, I didn't necessarily sympathize with him, but I saw what he was going through, and I could feel what he was going through because he lost a friend, and he's basically trying to find out what he wants to do with his life. I mean, especially with him and Kim. I love the parts with him and Kim. I thought that was great when they were conning that guy, when they were playing back and forth, and when they actually made love. And I like the toothbrush scene as well. How he says, "Let me borrow your toothbrush." Like, no, that's gross. Like, what are you talking about? We just swapped saliva and stuff. Like, let me borrow your toothbrush. She's like, no. And then he uses her finger to brush his teeth. I thought that was a great moment. I was glad that they didn't kind of linger on with Saul always calling Kim and waiting for basically her to come. He kind of made up his own mind that, okay, I have to do this. I have to get back to work. And I was glad that Kim was there to really set him straight. I thought so. At first, in the beginning of the season, I didn't really necessarily like Kim and her acting, but I think she's really growing she's growing on me. She's definitely really growing on me. It wasn't that much of an eventful kind of episode. It was more of just trying to work your way back in this world and this character that they set up. I think in the future episodes we'll get definitely a little bit more Slip and Jimmy. We'll see a little bit more, especially with him and Chuck, that relationship and how it kind of crumbled a little bit. And he says it. He's like, oh, everything I did was for Chuck. Chuck this, Chuck that. So we'll see how it all comes together. I really did enjoy this episode, though. I don't think it's one of the best episodes. I don't think it was the best kind of opening episode for a season, but it was good enough to get, I think, to get viewers interested, and I think newer viewers interested. And I always like Saul, and it's intriguing. It's going to be interesting where his life heads after this, because we know what's going to happen. We know he's going to get his own, little establishment at, because that's a Breaking Bad. That's a Breaking Bad points, or that's where we get to Breaking Bad. But before we get to Breaking Bad, what happened, what interests me, what is always on my mind is what happened to Kim, what happened to Chuck, like what happened to these characters that we're getting introduced to. That is the most interesting thing about all this as well, because you don't see them at Breaking Bad. They're not mentioned in Breaking Bad. So what happened there, and what's going to happen to him after this is all said and done? What is Saul, who is watching Saul? Is it Jesse? It's not Jesse, but we'll see. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, push that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Like the video if you like it, and comment below if you love Saul. Like I said, all you have to do is push that subscribe button. Word out. I'm out. No, I'm sorry. I'm out. Bye, guys.